It's What's Up Wednesday, and let's just come right out of the gate and talk about it. I don't know if you remember this or not. Maybe you don't remember who you are. But let me remind you who you are right now. You are a top freaking 10 team right now, and that is where we are ending this year. And I think some of you, sometimes me, need to be reminded today. You are a top 10 team. I am feeling in different message threads, in different conversations, challenges and frustrations. Welcome to life. But I'm also feeling that you are forgetting who you are. Do you know who you are? You are Spartan Nation. You are a 12-year veteran team who's currently ranked in the top 10 with a goal of ending this year as a top 10, who probably this month will be an 11-time elite team. I need you to remember who you are. I need to see some hearts. If you are understanding who you are and the gift you have, let's go. Let me see them. Come on. Come on now. We didn't come on this Facebook Live to sit back and drink our Energize and go, let me just watch Julie dance around. No, let's go. Come on. Come on. How many of you have forgotten who you are and what you're a part of? I think a lot of you have. You've forgotten who you are. You are Spartan Nation. You're a 12-year veteran team. You are in the top 10, and that is where we are going. And this month, you will be an 11-time elite team. Do you know how many other teams have done that? Right now, nobody. Right now, nobody. Do you know how many other teams are a 10-time elite team? You and one other. So let's get it together. Feelings are valid. How you feel is valid. You staying in sucky feelings, not valid. Sorry, I said it, not valid. You're better than that. You're smarter than that. You have forgotten who you are. I am here to remind you. You are Spartan Nation. You are a team of badass women on a mission to change lives. You have hearts and spirits so big, sometimes it blows me away. I watch your social media. I see what you're putting out there. I see what you are fighting for. I see what you are building. You inspire me daily, literally daily. There is not a day that goes by that I do not see one of your posts that brings me to tears. Every single day. I see it. I read it. I feel it. I know what you're doing out there. Sometimes you forget what you're doing out there. And I am here to remind you, you are Spartan Nation. You are a top 10 team. You are changing lives every day. And when you forget that, I'm here to remind you, you know who you are. You know who you are. And if you remember from Saturday, it's also not about you. So on those days when you feel like you are getting in your head about stuff, because most of us are women. It's a female illness to live too much in our heads. We have to remember, it's not about you, boo. You got to know who you are and take that out into the world so that other people can have that too. So other people can have that confidence too. You are Spartan Nation. You are a 12-year veteran team, soon to be an 11-time elite team, and we are headed to be a top 10 team. You know who you are. Sometimes we forget it. I am here to remind you. Okay. I want to talk to you about the book I'm reading briefly, and then I want to touch on, there's a conversation going on in a message thread that I thought was really cool and really powerful that I want to touch on. Right now I'm reading the 10X rule. And I just finished Talent Code yesterday, started the 10X rule today. And I was taking some notes, as I do. And I had it on my story this morning, and several coaches, and it's so interesting because I got the same question earlier this week from people who were not on my team. And several coaches, you ask me like, what are you writing? What are you post-it noting? What are you highlighting? What are you writing down? And since, nothing is random, if coaches who are not on our team and then coaches who are on our team are asking me these same questions, this is something that the universe is saying, hey, Julie, you can talk about this. You can talk about this. So the question was, what are you writing down when you're writing in the morning? What's happening in the morning with your journaling or your whatever? So here's what I do in the morning. I get up 4 a.m. and take a shower. And when I go into the bathroom, take a shower, and I start getting ready, I turn on personal development to listen to while I'm getting ready. So right out of the gate in the morning, by 4:20 a.m., I am starting something in my brain on intention, by intention, that's going to help me be better today. So that's the first phase of my personal growth. Then I come downstairs and I do the things like with the dog, and I turn the heater on in the basement because the girls like it to be warm when we come down here. And I turn on the diffuser and I light the candle and all those things. And I make my Energize and I do all that kind of stuff. And then I sit down with my gratitude and goals, with my book, which is now currently this, and with my notebook, which is now currently this one. I've had lots over the years. And I start reading and I start taking notes. And the question that I got from coaches outside our team, and then coaches in this really cool conversation we were having in a message thread with those that are in the Rise Up Rockstars group, was, what are you writing? What are you doing? What's happening in those notebooks? And the conversation came around like, I just don't know what to write. I don't know what I'm writing. I don't know what I'm doing. So first and foremost, here's what I want you to remember. And I'm just going to turn the comments off just for a second so that I can focus too. Here's what I want you to remember. We were doing bar blend this morning, and Elise is teaching, and she's doing a move, and she says something like, this is where my leg is. I've been doing this a while, so that's why I might look like this. You might look different. Wherever you are is where you're supposed to be at this time. You are here in this workout to get better. So I want to say that to you first. If you're watching my morning routine, first of all, remember it is my morning routine, and you have to come up with your morning routine. Will I always, from the rooftops, shout how crucial a morning routine is? I absolutely will. Your mornings are magic. They are your golden hours. They are your golden time to set the tone for the rest of your day. If you're getting up when your kids are getting up, you're already behind the 8 ball. If you are getting up and not using that time for some quiet reflection, journaling, gratitude, goals, setting the intention for your day, you're wasting that golden moment when your brain is so ready to do something great, and you can prime that pump for the rest of the day. If you're just getting up and then turning on your social media or not using it productively, well, number one, that's on you. And number two, you're wasting that beautiful golden time in the morning. But do you have to get up at 4 a.m.? No, you have to get up at the time that works for you to help you set yourself up for the best day. Could that be a time that you don't love? Yeah. What part of you thinks that when 4 a.m. goes off on Alexa, I am up and like, no. I mean, I get up and I hit snooze, and by the time I get out of the shower, I'm up and I don't really know nor care what time it is. It's ready. It's go time. But I'm using that time to set the tone and prime my pump for the rest of the day. So when I sit down with by the time I get down to the kitchen, I've done all my things and I've made the Energize and blah, blah, written my gratitude and goals every day, and I'm reading my book. I've got my notebook out ready to take notes. If you feel like your morning routine isn't dialed in and your morning routine is new to you, I want you to remember what Elise said in the workout today. That's why you're here, to get better at it. If you feel like you're reading a book and the journaling part of it, the taking notes part of it feels new to you and you don't feel very dialed in yet, that's why you're here, so you can get better at it. It's not you're here so you better be perfect at it. And everyone's personal growth will be different because what's the first word? Just like the name of our company, the first word is team. Hence collaboration and leaning in and staying close to the fire. The first word in personal growth is personal. So you have to not just find the books that resonate with you, you have to find the way to take them in that resonates with you. The way that I take them in, because I'm a natural reader and writer of things, a writer of lists and a writer of notes. I have to write what's in my head to remember it. And there are so many studies that show that when we write our notes out, handwrite, not type, write them out, we are far more likely to remember them. So for me, what works is reading my book, underlining it, doing lots of post-it notes to remember what I'm going to share with you later, but also taking notes in my notebook. Now, coming back to that idea of, well, why does that seem so natural to you? Let me show you why. This, my friends, I'm going to turn my comments back on so I can see you when you say this. This, my friends, is a fraction of what I have in my cabinet upstairs. I mean a fraction. Oh, this one's got the bag falling off of it. These were notes I typed, probably so I could share them with you. Notes from when I started as a coach 12 years ago. Notes I torn out from something. This was my phase of liking Spiral Bound at the top. This was my phase. This was 2006. This is my phase of Erin Condren. More Erin Condren. More Erin Condren. Fallen off. That's not even close to what I've kept. I keep all my notebooks. So when Elise says, it's okay if my leg is higher than yours, I've been doing this a while. That's why you're here to get better. It's okay if journaling or writing or your morning routine or personal growth feels new to you. That's why you're here, to get better. And if it looks like, well, Julie has it all dialed in, why doesn't my journaling and reading and stuff look like hers? Well, number one, I'm probably older than you. And number two, I've been doing this longer than you. For some people on this team, for some people in this world, their very first personal growth book was when they became a coach, maybe 6 months ago. Right? So it would be really a disservice to yourself to compare yourself and your personal growth journey. It also would be the antithesis of what the name is, personal growth. It would do yourself a disservice on your personal growth journey to compare yourself to someone who's been kind of taking notes and writing stuff down from all my life since I could write. You know, it's why I was an English major. Now, all that being said, has my journaling or writing down of things always look the same? No. Why? Because we're human and we evolve and we're on a personal growth journey. So the way I come at my reading now might be slightly different than the way I came at my reading 3 years ago, because we're on a journey. For some people, their first book in the personal growth space might have been Rachel Hollis's Girl Wash Your Face just a couple years ago. So to compare yourself or to wonder why, and Brenna, I'm kind of talking to you because we were having this conversation. To compare yourself to someone who's been journaling or taking notes or whatever for a long, clearly, like this is only Literally, this is like 10% of my notebooks. I'm also a hoarder. Like, you should know that about. Fun fact about JV, I'm a hoarder. I can't throw anything away. Do you think that I'm pulling out my notes from 2016 and reading them? I don't know, but I might one day. So I'm not going to throw it away. So I'm a hoarder. And I've been trying really hard more now to use up every page in my notebook, but I'm also a person who likes kind of new, fresh things. So sometimes I get sort of to the end and then I just start a new notebook. But I have 100. I have so much. I also have my notebooks from when I taught high school English in the back there that I won't let my husband throw away because I'm a hoarder. So when I'm sharing that because I've been doing this for a long time. So if you are newer to your personal growth, know that it is a personal growth journey. There's an evolution. Now, that being said, it has to be an evolution. There has to be some intention behind it for it to be the second part of that phrase, growth. There has to be some evolution behind it. There has to be a growth from girl, wash your face, which is fine, but to something maybe a little meatier and weightier that's going to continue to help you evolve. We can't stay at girl, wash your face forever, right? We can't read the slight edge over and over again. We now know what the edge is and that it's slight. So now we need to grow because there's two parts to that phrase, personal growth, personal meaning what works for you, but growth, meaning you need to change. So what helps me do that is to take notes. I underline with my pencil rather than highlight, and I put Post-it notes where I want to read you and share with you stuff. So here comes the other part of that. When I'm reading something, I read with two eyes. One, I'm reading for me and my personal growth journey. I'm reading for me and writing down stuff for me. But I am reading with an eye on how am I going to share that with my team? How am I going to share it? I'm reading with two perspectives. How is this for me? How is this for them? Always, no matter what I do, because what happens in your heart and in your head should not be staying in your heart and in your head. It's kind of like Vegas. What happens in Vegas doesn't stay in Vegas. What happens on your personal growth journey, the point of it is to help you be a better human that goes out and helps others be a better human. Remember, it's not about you, boo. So this personal growth journey that we're on is helping us personally become better so we can go out and help others grow. So when I'm writing down my notes and I'm thinking, like yesterday when I was doing the Rise Up Rockstars, so I wrote Rise Up Rockstars and I'm making notes. So in my book, it said ignition and deep practice. Well, to me, I'm already thinking, what does that mean in coaching? Well, ignition means this and deep practice means this. And I'm writing things down about what it means in coaching, what it means to us. So I'm taking it in and then I'm writing down what it means to us because I'm going to teach it to you. I am learning it to teach it. Because once we teach it to someone else, we learn it that much more ourselves. So if you're just reading your 10 pages because it says on the bat to read 10 pages and you're checking it off to read 10 pages, you're missing the point of personal development. You're missing the point of growth. If you're just here on the surface, you're missing the point of it. Because you might have picked up a book that you personally like, but you are missing the other half of it, which is the growth. You got to be in it a little more deeply. My girls and I have this saying about people, whether they're performers or actors or whatever they are, we'll say, oh, they're in their feels right now. You know, you've probably heard that phrase, they are in their feels right now. And we use that lovingly because we are all about someone who's in their feels. We love that. Get in your feels. You know why? Because if you are in your feels right now, you're not here. You're not at the surface. And I think some of you are afraid to get in your feels and let yourself dig in there and feel the feelings and write them down and just kind of go there with what you're feeling. I think some of you are afraid to do that. But what's funny is the comments that I get the most when we do these Facebook Lives are, oh my gosh, Julie, I love your passion. I love your fire. I love your energy. That's because I'm in my feels, because I'm not living here. This is so average and ordinary and boring. And this is where a lot of people live, right here, right on the surface. Let me check the box. 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 Okay, 10 pages done. I have no idea what I just read, but let me just check the box. Okay, let me do my workout. Okay, done. I'm not really sure what I just did. I really didn't pick up a heavier weight, and nothing that the trainer said really connected with me, but let me just check that box. Let me go make my shake with no appreciation or gratitude for the fact that I have this shake to drink with the research and the science behind it that is great, helping my immunity every single day. But let me just check the box. Let me just check the box. Is that what you're doing with your personal growth? Are you just checking the box? Or are you digging into your feels? And when you're reading it, if you watch me read, if you're watching me and I'm taking notes, I'm like, yes. Oh my gosh, yes. And then I'm walking around and then I'm sitting down and then I'm walking over here and I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. And then I'm right over here writing this down because I can't wait to tell you. Because that's the point. It's not just let me read this for me so I can check the box. This is let me read this for me personally so I can take it in and share it with you to help you grow. So if you are reading your books with only one eye on how's it help me, then I'm here to remind you it's not about you, boo. Or at least it's not only about you. It is about getting your mindset right. And as I said in Rise Up Rockstars yesterday, it's about getting the script right here in your head that's right. But if you will read what you're reading with an eye of how can I teach this and share this, it will change the game. I can't go anywhere at this point without seeing something that I am like whipping out my phone and opening the notes or the drafts or something and writing it down so that I can tell you about it. Because there's a story there. Because there's a story everywhere. And I'm on such a mission to make sure that you understand that, number one, what you do matters. And number two, there's a story everywhere in what we do. We think that we get in this little Beachbody bubble and that we're operating in this vacuum when everything we do in this business is life. And everything that I see around, a quote on the wall at Disney, last night, watching this show called Songland. This is a new favorite of ours. It's on at like 10 o'clock. On NBC, so we never watch it in real time. we tape it and watch it the next day. Also, do you call it tape anymore? We record it, watch it the next day. And it's all about songwriters coming in and kind of pitching their songs to an artist and 3 producers. And if you know me at all, not only am I a hoarder, here's another fun fact about me. I'm a huge context queen. I want to know all the backstory. I want to know all the context. It makes everything much richer and more vibrant for me. So I love knowing the backstory on how someone writes a song, okay? I want to know how they tweak it, how they write it, da-da-da. And this 18-year-old girl comes in to pitch her song last night to Martina McBride. Legend singer, legend. And she comes in to pitch her song. She sings her song. She's amazing. But they're like, what are your goals in life? What do you want to do? She goes, I want to have a song on the radio. There's no plan B for me. I looked at my girls and I'm like, yes, there's no plan B. There's no plan B. This is it. And immediately there was a dot that connected. It's not just Beachbody saying, it's not just as a business where there's no plan B. No, this girl's an 18-year-old songwriter and she's got that same fire. There's no plan B for her. It's like she said that and I went, yes, girl, yes. There's no plan B. I saw that connection in a show on NBC and wrote it down. Are you looking for connections and dots everywhere you go? Or are you 10 pages, check. Is that what you're doing? Are you doing a workout? When was the last time you did a workout and it made you cry when you did it? For some of you, maybe it was when you just finished 10 rounds. For some of you, it could have been another one. I have a vivid memory being down here in this basement and doing Insanity Max 30 for the first time and listening to Sean and punching and doing the things in that workout and tears streaming down my face. Because when he was talking about whatever he was talking about, I wasn't thinking about the workout. I was thinking about you and this team and our goals. When was the last time you cried in a workout? And not because the trainer was, although that's cool too, but because of what they said or how you felt. When was the last time you were brought to tears, reading something in a book and writing something in your journal? When was the last time you were brought to tears watching something like this? When? Because if you can't remember when, you're here. You're here. Well, everybody's here. But every single day, we have the tools in our life and the opportunity because of the very culture of who we are. It's fitness, y'all. It's not just a workout, it's life. More than anything, fitness can bring you to tears. It's everything we do in life. These conversations you have with people when they tell you that you are changing their life, thank you for connecting them with these solutions that work. Does that not bring you to tears? The pictures of the befores and afters, people whose lives have been completely changed because of what we do. Does that not bring you to tears? Are you living on the surface? Are you reading your 10 pages and checking the box? Are you letting yourself get in there and feel it and then sharing it? Because nothing that exists just in here matters as much as it being here and going out into the world. Think of Robert Hartwell, who shared with us his gifts and his talents and his energy so beautifully on Saturday. What if he had all of that in himself, in his head, in his heart, and never shared it with anyone? What a loss that would be for the children whose lives he's impacting, for the people who sat in an audience and watched him for 10 years in different shows on Broadway. What if he just had these thoughts in his head about how to be bigger and better and his purpose in life and his passion and his fire and what he'd learned along the way, and he just kept it in here? What if he had done that? Would the world be a less bright place? I think it would. What if he just checked the box? So when you're thinking about your reading and your journaling and your note-taking, when you're thinking about your workouts, when you're thinking about your business, are you checking the box? Or are you digging in and getting in your feels? Because if that makes you a little uncomfortable, then that's where you need to be, my friend. And I don't mean you got to be all emotional and walking around crying all the time, because that's annoying. But if you aren't brought to tears probably by at least something once a day that's happening in your business, maybe you're living on the surface. And I think that's what probably 80% of the people in this world are doing, kind of living right here on the surface. And maybe that's what you've been doing. Well, just like Elise said in the workout today, that's why you're here. So you can dig a little deeper, so you can get in your feels a little more, so you can learn, so you can grow. Because what's it called? Personal growth. And the person that you are today should not be the person that you are on May 31st. You should be better in some way from your personal growth, from what you're doing. I also wonder if some of you, when you're doing writing, if that's part of your journey, if you are thinking of this like a diary and you do have to get all emotive and write down deep things that you need to lock away. Here's what I wrote down today. We should be who we're capable of being and do what we're capable of doing. It's not very, there's no, dear diary, today, no. We should be, I bullet point it. We should be who we're capable of being. We should do what we're capable of doing. And that came from the piece in my book where we're talking about setting goals high enough. So I'm going to read that to you. And then your task today is to go write about it. Think about it. Let it be deeper than just surface level. Get in your feels about it. Let yourself go there. Let yourself get a little uncomfortable with how deeply you feel. Here's why people live here. Here's why people live here. And we've all been there. Some of you are still there. And here's why people live here. Because to get in your feels, to dig a little deeper, you might find yourself not living up to your potential. And that bothers you, because if you find yourself not living up to your potential, then you might have to do something about it. Right? You might have to do something about it. Whereas if you just kind of live on the surface, you can go, well, I just didn't know. Well, okay, live your ordinary life, boo. I'm not about that. Others might have an opinion about your success. Only you get to decide if it's extraordinary. Only you know your true potential and whether you're living up to it. Only you know your true potential and whether you're living up to it. That sentence right there. Do you see how I've highlighted it? And then went over and wrote about it. Because that's such an important piece to remember. Because here's the thing. You have to be self-aware, and you got to get in your feels to know if you're living up to your potential. And you got to be okay with admitting that none of us are. Not one person. Maybe Steve Jobs did, maybe Walt Disney did, but probably not. Is living up to the potential that is in them right now. I wrote about that because that connected with me. No one's doing that. People who are highly successful in both their professional and personal lives, because y'all, the two are not separate. There's no reason why they have to be separate. Continue to work and produce and create even after they've had some success. The world watches them with amazement and confusion. So like, think of Michael Phelps and how many Olympics he went to. And the world was like, aren't you retired yet? And they keep asking questions like, why do they keep pushing? And the answer is simple. Successful people know their efforts must continue in order for them to realize new achievements. Once the hunt for the goal is abandoned, the cycle of success comes to an end. Someone said to me recently, it is clear you've made enough money to live comfortably. Why are you still pushing? It's because I'm obsessed with the next breath of accomplishment. I'm compulsive about leaving a legacy and making a positive footprint on the planet. I am most happy when I'm not accomplished, and most happy when I'm in the quest of reaching my full potential and ability. My disappointment or dissatisfaction with where I am at this moment does not suggest something is wrong with me, but rather than something is right with me. Should I be happy with the love that I have for my children yesterday? Or should I continue to create and pour it on in new amounts today and tomorrow? Always doing more. Because to me, all of that, and this is what I wrote down in my book. There it is right there. All of that, progress equals happiness. You and I both know if you are sitting in your suck and getting in your head and feeling frustrated and challenged because you're making that choice to feel frustrated and challenged, instead of getting in your feels and letting yourself connect to the joy, the absolute joy and transformative power of this business, you are sitting on a plateau and you are not making progress. So therefore you are not happy in all areas of life. Progress equals happiness. So those people who are living here, talk about not living up to their potential. Yes, digging in there and getting in your feels is going to be uncomfortable. And guess what that's going to cause? Progress. And guess what that's going to cause? Happiness. Which is a hell of a lot better than checking off a box on a Success Club tracker just because it said to read 10 pages. I want you to read 10 pages. I want you to read 100 pages. But I want you to read 10 pages that make you cry or feel something. I want you to feel something when you're reading. Hold, please. If you look around, you will see that humankind, by and large, tends to set targets at subpar levels. Many people, in fact, have been programmed to set targets that not even of their own design. We are told what is considered to be a lot of money. We have predetermined notions about what is fair, what is difficult, what is possible, what is good, what is bad, blah, blah, blah. So don't assume that your goal setting isn't already impinged upon by some of these parameters that you subconsciously don't even know. Any goal you set is going to be difficult to achieve, and you will inevitably be disappointed at some points along the way. So why not set these goals much higher in the beginning? Because if they're going to require your work, effort, energy, and persistence, why not exert even more of it? What if you are underestimating your capabilities? Are you kidding me? Like, who's not in their feels about that? What if you are underestimating your capabilities? Chances are you have been more often disappointed by setting targets that are too low and achieving them, only to be shocked that you didn't get what you didn't want. You can't be shocked by results you're not getting, by work you're not doing. Let's say my original aim was to make $100,000, and then I changed it to making $1 million. Which of these goals would you rather come up short on? I'd rather come a little bit short of making $1 million. Why get merely good at something when you know excellence is out there? Success is an accumulation of events being achieved. Your focus should be the kind of success that builds upon itself. So what I'm saying is, all that to say, are you living here and checking off the box? Are you getting in your feels and letting yourself write? Are you letting go of what you think you're supposed to be writing about? And are you just letting something that connects with you in the book guide what you want to write, guide what you want to think? And then are you taking that with an eye on sharing it with someone else? Your task today, let me see what else I wrote down. Oh, and then don't let me forget to do my announcement. And then I got to go make my shake before I eat my hand. Your task today is to think about this. Why are we going to be good if we can be excellent? Why? And if you are feeling challenged and frustrated right now, I need to know why that is. There's a couple things. I need to know logistically why that is and how I can help you get over that. Are there resources, trainings, mentorships, talks, whatever, tools that I can help you get over that? So I want to know that. And if you're feeling challenged or frustrated, I need you to remember who the freak you are, which is Spartan Nation, a 12-year veteran team, soon to be an 11-time elite team. I need you to remember that and maybe get out of your head a little bit. I need you to remember it's not about you and that we are here to share this gift with other people. Otherwise, what is the point of anything? Whether it's this business or anything, what is the point? You know, Robert Hartwell talked to us on Saturday, who's not anywhere close to being a Beachbody coach, and talked about sharing gifts and light. It's everywhere in the world. It's life. If you are doing stuff that matters, you have to share it because people need it. So if you're feeling challenged or frustrated, I would 100% guarantee it's because you're in your head thinking about you instead of thinking about serving, connecting, inspiring, lifting up, working with, helping someone else. I would 100% guarantee that. I'm also going to say, when you're feeling sucky, sometimes it's okay to embrace that, acknowledge it, and go, yeah, I'm feeling a little sucky, but I also have the tools to get out of it, because sitting in the suck doesn't help. It just doesn't. I've been on this planet and in this business too long to not know that for a fact, that sitting in the suck doesn't help. Sitting in the suck doesn't help. Get in your book, get in your journal, get in your workout, and let yourself, for God's sakes, feel it and get off the flat line and get into your feels. That, I'm telling you, is the difference maker. I live in my feels. You don't have to live in your feels, but let yourself go there so that you understand the impact you can make. If you aren't feeling it, how can anyone else feel it? If you aren't, you have to feel what a difference all the parts of this business, this team, this opportunity can make in your life. You have to feel it. Because if you don't, how are you sharing that with someone else? How? Get in your feels. Write it down. Talk about it. Make a video about it. Create art with it. Do a dance about it. I don't care. But get in there and do something with it that's going to make a difference for someone else. Stephen Covey says, I am not a product of my circumstances. I am a product of my decisions. I am not a product of my circumstances. I am a product of my decisions. What decisions will you make today that will get you out of feeling challenged and frustrated into serving and helping other people so that we can make this May so big it blows our minds? So that we get to the other side of May and have helped so many people, we stand back and go, what the frick just happened? Because we've been so consumed with taking what is in us and sharing it with others. What happens if we set our goals 10x? Instead of Success Club 10, it's 20. I'm going to help 10 people, not just 5. What happens if we do that? Because 100%, not one of us is living up to our potential. I am not a product of my circumstances. I am a product of my decisions. Get in your feels. Get off the flat line. Stop reading your book just because you're going to check it off on a box and start letting the stuff that is in this business affect you on such a deep level that you can't help but pour it out into someone else. That's how you build a business, because what you have is felt so deeply. The belief you have is felt so deeply, it just spills out of you and people want what you have. Keeping it inside, that's doing people a disservice, isn't it? Can you imagine if Steve Jobs kept all his ideas inside? What if Walt Disney would have sat on that bench in that park and thought about an idea for Disneyland and then kept it inside? What if Kendra Hall would have thought about people should tell their stories better and then kept that inside? What if Robert Hartwell would have thought, I feel called to share this energy I have in performance and then helping others, and then kept that inside? What if Carl Deichler would have had an idea for a business that could change lives through health and wellness, and then kept it inside? Would the world be different? You and I both know it would be. So your task today is to get in your feels a little bit, and then send me a message when you do, because I want to know what you're doing that's different, that's personal, that's growth, that's different today than was yesterday. That's the point of personal growth. I want to know. So I want you to send me a message. I want you to tag me in something. Tag me. I don't care what it is. Show me today that you're getting off the flat line and getting into the good stuff that changes your life. Anyone can live here. Most people do. Don't be most people. Don't be most people. We're better than that. Okay, Spartan Nation, here's your announcement, and then I'm going to go up and make my shake so I don't eat my hand. Are you ready? Saturday morning, 10:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Would you like to meet me for a workout? Show me some hearts if you'd like to meet me for a workout Saturday morning, 10:45 a.m. Crap, I have 2 minutes. I got to be on another call in 2 minutes. Would you like to meet me for a workout Saturday morning, 10:45 a.m. Eastern Time? Yes or no? Hearts if you'd like to do that. Okay, few of you would. Few of you would. Few of you would. Awesome. That's fantastic. Would you like to meet me and Joel Freeman for a workout Saturday morning at 10:45 Eastern Standard Time? Would you like to meet me and Joel Freeman Saturday morning? Because if you would like to meet me and Joel Freeman Saturday morning at 10:45 a.m., I can make that happen for you. Saturday morning, 10:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, you meet Joel Freeman, Spartan Nation, a workout just for you. Remember who you are, my friends. We have a month ahead of us to change some lives. Let's freaking go. Get in your feels today. I'll see you, what's today, Wednesday? I'll probably see you Friday, all right? Get ready. Joel's coming for you.